The Monday Morning Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Esther of IPA Group, bringing premier online promotion to your business.
And Melanie of Stomp Social Media Training, who empowers business owners to manage social media and marketing for themselves.
And welcome back to another episode of the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. Today we're going back to basics, back to social media 101. Why? Why do we need to go back to basics, Melanie?
Because you can't always assume that people who are coming across your business are at exactly the same point you are, know exactly the same things you do, and people learn in different ways. Some people learn by reading, by writing, by doing, of course, and by listening. So that there are 4 learning styles, and if you can incorporate as many of those learning styles, all the better. So for those of you who are the more, stronger listeners, this is for you.
And it's also for you if you're rebranding or if you are just starting out in your business. You know, we come across a lot of people every day who have used social media for a long time as themselves, as, their personal profiles, keeping up to date with friends and family, but they've never thought about using it for business, more old school that way. But it is one of these things that eventually you need to jump onto, because there are so many benefits from being on social media. Not to mention, it's a search engine in its own right. So once you go into, people start Googling or Binging or Microsofting what you do. It's never going to become a word, is it? Or a verb. Once they start checking online for things that you do, you could pop up even with just a Facebook page or a Twitter account, or, insert one of the millions of social media platforms here. So what's the first thing that we need to do?
Well, believe it or not, I've always said customer, but I think actually it goes back to something even further back than just the customer. And that is, what exactly is the problem you solve? Because I know instinctively, the first problem you feel you're solving is, I'm getting an income, I'm, showing my children how to work for myself, and all those proof points that you're developing for yourself. But if you can actually verbalize, picture, and then help other people understand what problem you're solving, then find the customer for that problem, then you're over halfway. What do you
Yes.
think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once you know what it is that you're selling and why you're selling it, then it is so much easier to narrow down the audience that will need that. So we've given loads of examples in other episodes of, pain points that have been solved. The one that I always remember is the baby wipe warmer. I mean, who realized that that was a problem in the first place, that wet baby wipes made a baby cry more at night, and they didn't like the cold and the wet? Who thinks of these things? I wish I had. Then I'd be a millionaire at this point. But there are loads of problems that still haven't been solved, or they have been, but they haven't been marketed correctly, because people don't realize that that is the nitty gritty of the pain point that you're solving.
So now we've helped you sort of, the first thing first is understanding exactly the problem you're solving, and then you're looking for the customers who are looking for that problem to be solved. Some of that is also taken into account the customer journey. And that was a great episode we did with Vicky, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if you've got a way of understanding how your audience is going to come across you in the first place, and how you're going to find them. So actually, I kind of did that the wrong way around tonight, but you're really meant to be where they are, you're not expected them to find you.
Yeah.
So if you can think of, okay, well, this is a problem I solve. I've now got an idea of the types of customers that I'm looking for. So where do these guys hang out? And and what's going to make me stand out when I put myself in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we mentioned there's 4 learning styles. So if that's 4 learning styles for you, there's also 4 learning styles for your customer as well. So can you do a video? Can you do an audio? Can you do a written blog? And can you show a demonstration of your product or your service?
Yeah.
Maybe, doing a trade stand or, a demo somewhere in person. So there's so many different things that you can incorporate. But I would personally just not leave it just to social media. Social media is a fabulous tool. It's an expected tool that we should all have, but it is not the only tool you should have.
Amen to that. And in case you don't know, Melanie's talking about your email marketing list. She is talking about your website. She is talking about word of mouth, getting out to networking groups and explaining who you are and what you do.
Press releases.
Yeah. All of
meeting
those.
people. I mean, meeting people it's still such an important thing to do. And,
yeah,
we were talking in another episode quite recently about, where we're at, and we're getting old, mate. We're old.
Again with the
Okay?
age thing,
Well, we are, because the people coming up behind us have got used to DMing and emailing, and conversation is, people aren't networking as much as they used to. People are even on the phone as much as they used to, and the language, the power of language is being lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's another skill set that we all need to keep on working on, because at the end of the day, people buy from people. So it doesn't matter whether you're young or old,
older.
People will only believe you if you can believe in whatever you're trying to sell at the time.
Yeah.
And that's understanding it intimately, knowing it really, really well, and being confident.
Yeah.
And if you can do that when you're speaking to people, either in person, through a Zoom, or on the phone, I think for any age, it makes a difference, because you're connecting with them on a personal level.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so getting back to getting started on social media marketing, one of the things, once you figure out who your audience is and where they are and what pain point you're solving, you need to obviously open the account on the specified channel. And on all of those, they're going to ask you for a bio. I don't know a single one that doesn't ask who you are, what you do, where they can find you, any other links that you can add in. In Facebook, you can tell your story. There is a section for all the information that you can put in about your business, how long it's been running for. Add your logo, your headshot, your banner image, all of these things you have to have before you get started. So even maybe it's the first step too, is once you figure out what it is that you're selling, name your company. Some people name the company and then figure out what they're selling. They're just like, I really like that name. I'll figure out what I want to sell under that name at a later date. That's fine, but get your social media handles sorted. You don't have to be on all the platforms, but we were talking with Brian Fanzo in person. We haven't had him on the podcast yet, but he told us to just get all your social media handles so that nobody else can have them. Okay, there are so many copycats out there. There are so many people that will pretend to be you, and you just want to make sure that your handles are the same or similar across all platforms. It may not always be possible, especially in this day and age when so many millions and billions of people are on social media, but the closest that you can get them, the better, because then there's the consistency. We have our logo on every single platform that we're on. So that is our consistency.
Yeah.
We weren't able to get the same name across all of them because of character issues, because of different things like that. But if you're able to get them, and you do not, again, I reiterate, you do not have to be on them all, but just so nobody else can impersonate you on a different platform. And as your audience grows and ages, as Melanie likes to point out, and gets older, you may find that they move away from one platform onto another, which is usually, like, we see it across all platforms. Instagram seems to be getting younger and younger and younger. TikTok, again, younger and younger and younger. There are still some old fogies like us on it. Can I just point out, we are in our 40s. We're not that old. If you were listening to Melanie, you'd think we were 80.
No, but she's right. We're not that old, but people see marketing on social media as a young person's thing. They tend to get, let's get the young one to do it, and that's just not right at all.
Yep.
The young ones are braver,
yeah,
but the older ones probably have a better, purely because of experience, working ethos,
and we're more seasoned. Can we say it like that rather than being old?
Seasoned. Sound like a steak now.
Oh, making me hungry. Getting back to the point, being on all social media platforms is not necessary. We have said this in many other episodes, but if this is your first episode with us, you do not have to be everywhere. But do try and get your website address, your social media platforms with the same name, have your logo, get a proper logo designed, and not just, something thrown together again by the younger generation. There are some things that are worth investing in when you start your business. And I think Melanie will agree with me here that your logo is one of them, because it's one thing that you probably will not change in the whole course of your business, unless you are a multi-million pound business like British Petroleum and you want to be seen as being green. So they changed their logo to a green color. But again, they have millions and millions of dollars to be able to do that at the drop of a hat. If you invest heavily at the start of your business in your logo, then it will last you, and it will be able to be used on your website, on your socials, on your email platforms, everywhere, without any extra effort on your part. So we've got our platforms opened. We have our bios written. Now, do we be succinct in those bios? I'm going to use the marketing term that everyone hates, which is, it depends. Because some places will only give you limited characters to use. Other places, like I said, Facebook, let you write an entire story. You could go on for days. So structure it for the platform that you're going to be using.
And once you've got your platform sorted out, then it's a case of creating content, which I know for a lot of businesses is actually the real issue. How often are we meant to be posting? How do we speak to our customers? Even we know that we shouldn't always sell all the time, because we hate being sold to all the time. So that's why understanding exactly who your customer is and, what things are keeping them awake at night outside of your particular business is handy, because then you've got an insight as to what else is bothering them. Maybe you could collaborate with another business, and you could resolve those problems together for your clients, or you can make suggestions that are going to be beneficial to them. So ideally, you just need to serve your audience first.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, don't be afraid to join groups on Facebook, join in with Twitter chats, follow your competitors, see what they're doing, see what's working, see what's getting interaction. Do not copy. That would be, the golden rule here. Do not copy what they're doing. See what's working for them. See if something similar will work for you, but don't just grab their posts and put exactly the same thing up on any of the platforms, because it's not nice. You go to so much effort, and your unique selling point is you. People will buy from you. They don't want to buy from your competitor. They want to buy from you. Why? Get that across. Okay. Storytelling. Like, we could tell you to go back and listen to all 184 other episodes of the podcast, But what I think we should do, Melanie, is a short series just on how to get started in social media. What do you think?
I think, yeah, we could do the Netflix version where you can download them all in one go rather than making people wait week by week.
Yes.
I think that might be a good idea.
All right, let's do that then. No guarantees as to when
Yeah.
it's coming, but watch this space. Did I just drop us into another thing that we're going to have to do? Anyway, stay tuned for that, guys. I don't think we should go on any further with, delving into it now, because we wouldn't do you justice. We will deep dive into it in, again, bite-sized pieces in an upcoming series.
So that's all we have time for now. I hope it's got you inspired. And for those of you that are just starting, this is a really great way to at least, get those little blocks out in front of you to start working on and start building some actual backgrounds to your customers, to your brand persona, to your USP. And yeah, we all have to start from somewhere. Okay. If there's anything that we can help you with directly, we're absolutely happy to. You can message us directly. But even if there's something that we can't directly help ourselves, between us, we have quite an extensive network. So we can put you in touch with somebody who can help you. And we do actually both have quite a global network. So if you're listening to us in Germany, hi Germany, our audience over there is growing every single week, so we're very appreciative of that. But anywhere else you're listening to us, we may know somebody who can help.
Yes. So do get in touch. We love to hear from you, and we'll be back next week with more Monday Morning Marketing. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Next time, can you stop me before I put my foot in it and organize something else for us to do?
Well, I actually like the idea.
Oh. Okay, then.
I mean, we've now got to sit down and work out what the heck we're going to be saying.
Yes.
But
Yes.
actually, it was your fault. We ended up doing the blooming event.
I know. That's what I say. Let's just put a sock in my mouth. Okay.